Hi and welcome to another Consonant analysis. This one is about Cristiano Ronaldo. At the moment, there's a story in the news about something that allegedly happened several years back, with regards to him and another woman, and now it's reappeared again. So you'll find the Consonant analysis in the report in the description below, and there's just a few points I picked out. I'll let you read it yourself. The actual extract is from the lawyers who are reporting on what he was an investigator. He was somebody who was expected to deliver the court summons to Cristiano, but he was unable to find the address despite exhaustive searches. So the consonant analysis pulls out it was exhaustive anyway. And so the lawyers report on this, that he couldn't find anything. Whenever he tried to look, Cristiano Ronaldo's address was blacked out or redacted. So the points that I've pulled out, or that I'd like to discuss with you, obviously you can look at the report yourself and draw your own conclusions, were that the lawyers were on an intimate basis with their client. And that clearly comes across. It's like, when you're reading the analysis, it's like they actually believe a particular thing. They've got a particular stand on things, that she was raped. It does quite clearly come across. Now, the constant analysis doesn't necessarily tell you whether something happened or not. It just tells you what the underlying meaning is in the speech of the person who's said the speech. So it's down to interpretation. The next point is I believe strongly that the person who's reporting actually is it's a female lawyer, which would make sense because it's a woman, it's a rape case. And the reason for that is, from my experience of actually doing constant analysis of things that women say, there's a particular character to the markers that come out. You'll find there's like a dichotomy. Like, one set of markers is, honky-dory and, all friendly and nice. And the other one is like, daggers drawn. Strange. It's very strange. I'm not saying women go around with daggers drawn, but there's always a dichotomy, so I picked that up. You'll see that when you go through, it's like 50-50. It's very strange. So that leads me to believe that the lawyer who is relaying this information is actually a woman. And as I've mentioned, you do get the impression that the researcher or the person who was supposed to deliver the summons went to no expense to actually, he went to the nth degree to actually try and find Cristiano's address. And just a point, you'll read in the newspaper article, obviously the link's below in the analysis, in the Italian system, a court summons can be actually sent by registered post, but obviously you can't send it by post if you don't have the address. So okay, so going on to exact markers, when you look at the report, you'll notice that certain markers have like brackets around them. That's because the consonants actually fall between two particular markers, so both are included, and obviously it's up to the individual to determine which one is closer to the matter at hand. In any case, you'll generally find that with most markers which are in brackets, which are not exact, there's a gradation between them, a very small gradation. So it's not difficult to make an interpretation on the basis of them. So the exact markers are as follows: to surprise, that's the first one. Now, does that mean it's a nice surprise or it's not a nice surprise? What does that mean? Does it mean it's something which is the lawyers are shocked at? But in any case, it's a pleasant surprise because it will aid them. It aids their case if he's trying to obviously evade contact. it's like a feather in their cap sort of thing in their defense. And then the next exact marker is to provide with a shield or armor. So that goes on from what I've said. Is it something which they feel gives them, some ammunition to actually, fight the case on? And then the next exact marker is to oil, grease, or lubricate. So again, you've got this notion of it, helping things along. The fact that he's redacted his addresses from practically every place you could possibly look to find it. And then the final exact marker is to brood, sit on eggs, hatch, incubate. So I don't know, you could interpret that as the lawyers are actually waiting their time, biding their time, and hoping that the fruits will come along. Although you will find in the markers which are not exact, there's two references. One is to being pessimistic, and the other one is to seeing it as a good omen. So 50-50 perhaps. Interesting points. There's several references to child rearing and childbirth. You'll see the reference to to sucking milk and also to giving birth. Does that mean that there's a child in the background somewhere? Does it mean that, this woman, she's got the child and feels that you should see its father now, and she's just keeping that from the press because she doesn't want to embarrass the child? Or what does it mean? Or does it mean anything? And there's several references to staying at home and making a home, being comfortable and cozy at home. So that goes with child rearing and so forth. So interesting there. So yeah, that's all I have for you today. Everything's in the description below. If you like the content, subscribe and share, and see you in the next analysis.